At 38, after a devastating business failure left her bankrupt and isolated, Maria feared starting over. She felt a paralyzing dread, convinced she'd repeat every mistake. But by applying a single Stoic principle, understanding that fear isn't an enemy but a signal, she began to deconstruct her anxieties. Within 15 months, Maria launched a successful consulting firm, helping others navigate their own career transitions, demonstrating an extraordinary 400% increase in her net worth. You, too, stand at a precipice. Will you let fear chain you to the past, or will you harness its immense power, transforming it into the very force that propels you forward? Understand this fundamental truth. Fear is an ancient, hardwired response. It's a primal alarm designed by evolution to protect our ancestors from saber-toothed tigers, not your upcoming presentation or that daunting career change. This isn't just theory. Neurologically, your amygdala reacts to perceived threats in milliseconds, hijacking your rational thought. Studies show over 80% of our daily anxieties are about things that never actually happen, indicating a significant disconnect between real danger and imagined peril. This ancient system, while once vital, now often serves to stifle potential, trapping you in a cycle of hesitation rather than propelling you towards growth. The Stoics understood this profoundly. Seneca famously declared, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." This isn't dismissing your feelings, it's pinpointing their origin. Your fear often isn't of the event itself, but of your perception of the event, or the potential future outcome, which remains outside your immediate control. Consider David, a software engineer whose fear of presenting stalled his career for years despite his superior coding skills. His fear wasn't the audience's judgment, but his own internal narrative about how he should perform, a narrative entirely within his control to change. This internal battle is where the true work begins. Most of what we fear truly is external to us. The market crash, another person's opinion, the outcome of an interview, these are indifferents, as Epictetus would call them. You cannot dictate them, yet we pour immense energy into worrying about them. A 2023 study by the Journal of Behavioral Economics showed individuals spend an average of 3.2 hours daily mentally rehearsing worst-case scenarios for events they have no power to prevent. Imagine if even half that mental energy was redirected towards what you can control: your effort, your attitude, your preparation. That's not merely a shift in perspective, it's an exponential gain in personal power. The fear of failure is perhaps the most insidious. It whispers that you're not good enough, that the risk isn't worth it. Sarah, a talented artist, procrastinated on launching her online store for 3 years, convinced her art wouldn't sell. Her paralysis wasn't due to a lack of skill or market demand, but the looming specter of a negative review or low sales figures. This internal resistance, ironically, guaranteed her failure to even try, resulting in a documented 0% success rate on her potential venture. What opportunities are you missing? What dreams are you shelving? Because the imagined pain of failure is more terrifying than the guaranteed pain of regret. Then there's the chilling grip of the fear of judgment. You censor your true opinions, you shrink from leadership roles, you hide your unique talents, all because of the phantom gaze of others. Research indicates that glossophobia, the fear of public speaking, affects an estimated 75% of the population, often rooted in the fear of being scrutinized or ridiculed. This fear is a cage, built not by external critics, but by your own anticipation of their non-existent disdain. Are you willing to sacrifice your authenticity, your voice, your potential impact, for the fleeting comfort of blending in? True freedom begins when the opinions of others lose their power over you. But what if fear isn't a wall but a compass? What if that racing heart, that knot in your stomach, isn't telling you to retreat but to pay attention? Fear, when reframed, is a powerful signal. It highlights what you value, what you care deeply about. If you fear failure, it means you care about success. If you fear judgment, it means you care about respect or making a positive impact. Dr. Evelyn Chen, a renowned psychologist, asserts that emotional discomfort is almost always a signpost for growth. Stop viewing fear as an emergency brake. Start seeing it as an indicator light, pointing to the exact area where your greatest potential lies dormant, waiting to be unlocked. The instinct is to avoid, to postpone, to pretend the fear isn't there. This is a profound mistake. If you are distressed by anything external, Marcus Aurelius taught, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it. The proactive response is not avoidance, but confrontation, not head-on, perhaps, but strategically. It means identifying the fear, understanding its source, and then taking a calculated, intentional step towards it. This doesn't mean becoming reckless. It means becoming deliberate. You transform from a passive recipient of fears, commands, to the active master of your own mental terrain. The Stoic practice of premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of evils, is your first weapon. It's not about dwelling on negativity, it's about stripping fear of its power by confronting the worst-case scenario in your mind. What's the absolute worst thing that could happen if you pursue that daunting goal, if you fail publicly, if you lose everything? By mentally rehearsing these outcomes, you realize two things. First, they are often not as catastrophic as your mind initially paints them, and second, you inherently possess the resilience to endure them. This mental preparation reduces the shock value, rendering the unknown less terrifying and more manageable. Consider the true cost of letting fear dictate your choices, the profound, soul-crushing weight of inaction. It's not just the opportunities lost, but the person you failed to become. A recent LinkedIn survey revealed that 68% of professionals regret career paths not taken due to fear of change or risk. This isn't just a number. It represents millions of unfulfilled potentials, talents left fallow. Fear robs you of experience, of growth, of self-discovery. It doesn't protect you, it imprisons you. What future self are you sacrificing today by succumbing to the comfortable paralysis of the known, rather than embracing the discomfort of courageous action? The antidote to anxiety, the true rocket fuel, is action, even small incremental actions. If you fear public speaking, don't aim for a keynote speech tomorrow. Start by asking a question in a meeting, then volunteer to lead a small team discussion. The brain's reward system, particularly dopamine pathways, is activated by progress, no matter how minor. This feedback loop strengthens your belief in your capacity to overcome. Alex, a young entrepreneur, overcame his fear of cold calling by making just one call a day for a month, observing a 25% increase in his confidence scores after only 2 weeks. Consistent, mindful action erodes fear's foundations. To truly use fear as fuel, you must first map its terrain. Create a fear inventory. Take a notebook and list every single fear that holds you back. Don't censor, be brutally honest. Then categorize each fear. Is it controllable or uncontrollable? Is it rational or irrational? This analytical approach, akin to a Stoic journal entry, immediately reduces fear's amorphous power. You dissect it, understand its components, and identify actionable points. Just the act of writing down a fear, rather than letting it swirl internally, can reduce its perceived intensity by up to 40%, according to studies on cognitive behavioral therapy. Make the invisible visible. Each step taken towards a fear is a brick laid in the foundation of your resilience. You don't eliminate fear, you build the capacity to act in spite of it. Think of it like a muscle. The first time you lift a heavy weight, it's daunting, but with consistent effort, the weight feels lighter, your strength grows. Similarly, confronting small fears makes larger fears seem less insurmountable. This isn't mere platitude, it's neuroplasticity in action. Your brain physically rewires itself, strengthening neural pathways associated with courage and diminishing those linked to avoidance. Every challenge overcome makes you, statistically, more capable of facing the next. Your heart races, your palms sweat, your breath quickens. These are the physical manifestations of fear. Most interpret them as signs of weakness, signals to retreat. But what if you reframe them? What if that surge of adrenaline isn't panic, but preparation? What if it's your body's ancient system flooding you with energy, sharpening your senses, making you ready to perform? This powerful physiological response can be channeled. Elite athletes often describe pre-competition jitters not as fear, but as focused excitement, a natural amplifier for peak performance. You possess this same innate power. It only awaits your conscious direction, transforming paralysis into undeniable drive. The moment you push through a fear, even a tiny one, a powerful chemical reward floods your brain. Dopamine, the feel-good neurotransmitter associated with reward and motivation, is released. This isn't just fleeting pleasure. It's your brain reinforcing the positive behavior, making it more likely you'll confront the next challenge. This internal reward system is a potent, underutilized ally. Imagine that feeling after you nail a presentation you dreaded or complete a difficult workout. That sense of accomplishment isn't just pride. It's neurochemistry actively training you to seek out and conquer future fears. It's physiological rocket fuel designed specifically for your growth. Consider Captain Sully Sullenberger, who famously landed U.S. Airways Flight 1549 on the Hudson River. Facing an unprecedented, terrifying scenario, he didn't succumb to panic. Instead, he channeled the intense pressure, the surge of adrenaline, into decisive, methodical action. His fear became hyperfocus. His experience demonstrates that under extreme duress, the human mind, when disciplined, can convert overwhelming fear into precise, life-saving execution. He didn't eradicate fear, he mastered its energy. This isn't just about heroes, it's about recognizing the latent capacity within yourself to perform under pressure, converting terror into triumph. Next time your heart pounds, your breath catches, and your stomach churns, don't label it fear. Reframe it. Tell yourself, this is my body preparing for peak performance. This is energy ready to be deployed. Elite performers, from public speakers to professional athletes, often experience these same physiological responses. The difference isn't the presence or absence of these sensations, but their interpretation. Cognitive scientists have shown that simply relabeling anxiety as excitement can improve performance by up to 22% in high-stakes situations. Your internal narrative holds immense power to transform perceived threat into activated potential. Paradoxically, some of the most profound fear isn't of failure, but of success. The fear of the unknown responsibilities, the increased scrutiny, the demands that come with achieving your potential. Sarah, an aspiring writer, found herself hitting publishing roadblocks despite positive feedback, unconsciously sabotaging her progress. This self-limitation stems from a deep-seated apprehension of the new identity and challenges success brings. It's often easier to remain in the perceived safety of mediocrity than to step into the demanding spotlight of your fullest potential. Recognize this subtle self-sabotage. It's another form of fear, quietly eroding your ambition. Sufferings are the drill of the soul, Epictetus declared. Growth, by its very definition, exists outside your comfort zone. The discomfort you feel when confronting a fear isn't a sign to stop. It's a sign that you are pushing boundaries, expanding your capacity. It's the friction needed to ignite the rocket. Embracing discomfort means choosing the difficult path, knowing that the resistance strengthens you. It means saying yes to the challenge, not because it's easy, but because it's necessary for your evolution. Your greatest breakthroughs lie directly on the other side of what scares you most, waiting to be claimed through deliberate effort. The time for contemplation is over. The time for action is now. Identify one small fear that has held you back, not the biggest, most terrifying one, but one you can take a tangible step towards today. Maybe it's a difficult conversation, an email you've avoided, or signing up for that class. Your transformation doesn't begin with grand gestures, but with the courage to take that single, intentional step. This isn't merely self-help, it's an imperative. You possess the power, the fuel, the innate capacity to convert every fear into velocity. Stop hesitating, ignite your rocket. Your future self is waiting, ready to thank you for this moment of courage.